It's exactly 7:15 West African time. This is Daybreak. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, at this time, we go to the 102nd National Executive Committee meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which ratified the zoning of its 2027 presidential ticket to the south. The NEC also confirmed Umar Damagum as a substantive chairman of the party. Arise correspondent Mary Chinda reports.
It's the D-Day of the PDP's 102nd NEC meeting, largely held behind closed doors. After extensive deliberations, the party ratified the decision to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the south.
The presidential candidate of the party for the 2027 general election is hereby zoned to the southern region.
In another major decision, the NEC confirmed acting chairman Umar Damagum as the substantive national chairman.
NEC hereby ratifies and confirms the appointment of Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagum as the substantive national chairman of the party.
Nigerians are looking up to the PDP not only as the strongest opposition party, but as the only credible alternative capable of restoring hope, equity, and justice to the Nigerian people. The confidence reposed in us is a reminder of the weight of responsibility we carry as a party.
The NEC also approved the retention of existing National Working Committee NWC positions within the geopolitical zones of the outgoing members. However, microzoning within each zone will determine specific state allocations.
With today's 102nd NEC meeting out of the way, another most important thing for party officials here would be the elective convention coming up between November the 15th and November the 16th in Ibadan. From the headquarters of the PDP right here in Abuja, Mary Chinda, Arise News.
Now, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP caucus in the House of Representatives, has adopted all decisions made by the party's committees and organs, including those from Zamfara and Lagos, aimed at stabilizing the party ahead of the 2027 general election. Speaking after an emergency meeting in Abuja, caucus leader Honorable Fred Agbedi emphasized their commitment to supporting party unity, peace and strength to secure victory in the upcoming elections. He, however, dismissed reports of a lingering crisis, stating that the caucus fully backs the party's resolutions and is ready to work closely with party leadership to ensure lasting peace and progress. Agbedi called on party members to set aside differences and unite for the party's revival and Nigeria's political stability.
Meanwhile, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says the People's Democratic Party's decision to zone the 2027 presidency to the south while retaining the national chairman in the north has vindicated his long-standing position. The minister, in a statement signed by his senior special assistant on public communications and social media, Larry Olayinka, says the party's move to validate the stance that he and the G5 governors took way back in 2022. For more on this, let's bring in Miriam Ina Ciroma. She is a member of the People's Democratic Party's Board of Trustees and a former Minister of Women Affairs. Thank you for joining us, Miriam Ina Ciroma. Thank you very much for
having me. Thank you.
Now, we've seen the party survive so much implosion. As a matter of fact, we understand that the foundation of the party started from your house during the time of your late husband, Alhaji Adamu Ciroma, who was the former Minister of Finance under the Obasanjo regime. But now, be that as it may, we have seen the party has shown so much resilience. And now, when we thought that the obituary of the party is out, the party is showing resilience by coming out with the 102nd successful, what we could say, a well-attended NEC meeting. I'm not surprised, but the fundamental question is that, do you see the coming together of the PDP members as a bid for political survival or for more on an ideological fit in the party's stance and principle?
Thank you very much for inviting me for this program. I feel highly honored. Honestly, PDP is a party that has resisted a lot of challenges. And I always say that it's because of the foundation of the People's Democratic Party. It was a party that was formed for Nigeria by Nigerians and to move Nigeria forward. And this policy has been maintained. Even if we have crisis, before you know it, we will pick up and then we will face our challenges. So for me, the coming together again of PDP to ensure that PDP stands very firm for Nigerians is what Nigerians want, because Nigeria cannot afford not to have democracy, proper democracy. Proper democracy means having parties in government and then opposition parties. And we need to have very, very strong opposition parties that will keep the government on track. So that is how I see it.
Okay, now you've just spoken about the resilience of the PDP over time, and I think Benga spoke very briefly about, you know, how it started with your late husband. And what I'd like to know is, after the recent disruptions with the numerous defections and the disputes that have been going on within the PDP, do you think the party genuinely has what it takes to stand against the APC and to bring the type of leadership that Nigeria needs come 2027?
Yes. Honestly, PDP is the only party in Nigeria, as I always say, that is truly Nigerian. Because, as I said, when it was formed by, in fact, when we had the G9, they now expanded to G18. From G18, they say no, and the G18 composed only Northerners. They now say no, we cannot form a regional party anymore in Nigeria. We need a national party. That was why it became G34. And their first chairman then was His Excellency, late Alex Ekwemi was the first chairman. And they now said, Nigeria must unite. We must have a vibrant political party. That is why, even if we have challenges, we still believe that PDP can make it. And honestly, people have defected, but they'll come back. Look at APC. 80% of leaders of APC are from PDP. And in politics, we say there is no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. And I'm very, very sure that a lot of them will come back now that PDP is picking up. Because Nigeria, as I said, needs serious opposition party and party that can challenge the current government. And PDP is the only party that can do that. And I can assure you that PDP will get it right.
Ciroma, if I may step in. Okay, let me just step in quickly. So I have two questions for you. The first is around what many party stalwarts would say is the regularization or the normalization of the affairs of the PDP, which refers to the fact that many had argued that the zoning of the last ticket to the north had been an anomaly. So in the spirit of regularization, will you also be addressing those who have been indicted and have been found guilty of anti-party activities? What is the state of disciplinary action? Because we thought we would have heard some sort of feedback around disciplinary action to be taken around those who engaged in anti-party activities and continue to do so. That's the first question. Now, the second question is that, have you opened your doors? Because there's now talk of that this has cleared the way for a Goodluck Jonathan ticket because he qualifies for just one term. There's also talk that, well, Obedience are saying that they are happy for Peter Obi to possibly get on the platform of PDP. And there's also talk of Sheyi Makinde, who's in the party. Are your doors open to new people, or rather those who were with the PDP before? Goodluck Jonathan never left, but for him to return in capacity of a presidential ticket, or for an OB to return from outside of the party for a presidential ticket? Those two questions for you, ma'am.
Thank you. Regarding the zoning issue, actually it's PDP that started this idea of zoning and rotation in Nigeria. When PDP was formed, they said that Nigeria must be united. We must have a policy of zoning and rotation, meaning every Nigerian can aspire to whatever position they want. Once it's zoned to your zone, you can aspire to a president, to be a governor in your state. Even in the states, they practice zoning and rotation. Because when the PDP was formed, there was this challenge of the MK Abiola issue. And now the PDP now came together and said that we must zone the presidency to the south so that we can at least please them, considering what happened. And then it will be rotated. So I know that we had challenges in 2015 with this issue of zoning and rotation, because then some of the northern leaders felt that North was not has not completed its tenure when our late president died, Yar'Adua, and northerners are saying that the presidency must go back to the north. But then there is also the constitution of this country that is supreme. So we proceeded, and as even at now, people are really thinking that the zoning should consider that particular issue of 2015, but then that is history. Now we must proceed with the zoning and rotation. We had the president from the north, our very late president Buhari. Now we have it's zoned to the south, so a southerner should be our president. And in PDP, if we have the president from the south, then the chairman comes from the north. Then it's rotated that way. So that is how it is. And about this issue of defection and disciplinary action, we have a constitution that stipulates actions that should be taken if somebody is not following the party rules and regulations. And since the constitution is there, I can assure you that PDP will take action, because every organization must have very strict rules and regulations that must be followed and obeyed. And PDP has that in our constitution.
PDP hasn't taken action for years. What has changed?
She's asking that PDP is yet to take any action for years. What's happening now? Because many people were actually expecting the Tom Ikimi-led disciplinary committee to submit report in the face of gross, what is widely perceived as an anti-party activity. We saw the Ogun PDP openly endorsing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We also saw the Osun PDP coming out to endorse Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027 presidency. So, and we know that there's also Wike that had maintained a hardline stance against some of the decisions taken at the highest level of the PDP, and yet there was a promise that a disciplinary report will be submitted by the chairman of the disciplinary committee, Tom Ikimi, but yet we didn't hear of any disciplinary report on any of these perceived erring members of the party.
Yes, we have a disciplinary. We've always had a disciplinary committee, and it has always been headed by His Excellency Chief Tom Ikimi, and they have forwarded their reports, I was told, because I used to be a member of the disciplinary committee, the first disciplinary committee, and I'm not sure if they forwarded their reports to the National Working Committee. And it is the responsibility of the National Working Committee to take action on this case once it has been proved that it really took place.
Okay, while we wait for the Tom Ikimi's report on the disciplinary issues, still on this issue of zoning, there are some political bookmakers that feel that the party has inadvertently signed up for a one-term presidency by zoning the presidency slot to the south, because definitely a southerner has spent 4 years and the northerners are waiting by 2021 to jump into this presidential zoning. And so for some people, they believe that the south has just the next 4 years. So is the PDP committing itself, signing up itself for a single term 4-year presidency left for the south by this rotation formula it has adopted?
No, it is not so, because what the PDP is considering now is that as now we have a president from southern part of Nigeria, and he is spending 4 years, and he is coming again for the next 4 years. If PDP also produce a president from south, it means the south has spent their own 8 years. You add the 8 years of Tinubu and you add the 4 years of Tinubu and add the 4 years of PDP. That is 8 years from the south. So it will move to the north.
Now, with a final question here, Hajia, you know, after the successful NEC yesterday, and speaking of the zoning, as Benga has spoken about, and Vimbai earlier, I wanted to ask you, you know, is there a lead candidate in mind for the PDP?
Politics is about decision of the people. Somebody cannot just say, this is a leader. The people decides who will lead them. That's why we have conventions. That's why we have people go there and vote for who will lead them. And that's what democracy is all about. It's about the voice of the people. And in PDP, when we say PDP, they will say power to the people. So the people decides. We will not accept anybody saying that he must be president. No, the people will decide who will be president. And I'm sure Nigerians will decide someone who will really move this country forward. We need leaders that, considering our current challenges in this country, we need people that will move our country forward. We just cannot sit and say, I have personal interest.
Yes, just to nip that question on the board, is the PDP taking a wild gamble by making a random sampling by zoning it to the south, or you have a credible candidate in mind from the south?
Yes.
Well, it's the southerners now that will now advise PDP that this person is more qualified to lead us. This is somebody who will move this country forward. And then if Nigerians, in fact, he is coming from the south, but all Nigerians must agree, because even at that we have convention. So, but then in Nigeria, as we said, everyone can aspire and become what he wants to be. And if Nigerians support that person, and as I am talking now to you, Nigerians are looking for a candidate that will really move this country forward from southern part of Nigeria, and will all support that particular candidate. We are not saying this is A, B, or C. No, it's the southerners that will advise us that this is the person that will get it right for us, and then we'll all support the person.
Okay, Madam Ciroma. Okay, just as we close, final question. With this outcome, has Nyesom Wike been vindicated?
Well, I'm not his secretary. I don't know what his problems are. But the thing is that he too has a right as a Nigerian to complain if things are not, if he does not agree with what is going on. Everyone you can complain.
No, in his words, he said that zoning the PDP national chairmanship to the north and zoning the presidential tickets to the south has vindicated what his standard hitherto been and consistently been. Do you think Nyesom Wike has been vindicated with this outcome of the 102nd NEC meeting for the PDP?
It is the policy of the PDP. Nobody is not being vindicated or whatever. It is the policy of the party that positions must be zoned south and north. So as far as we are concerned, this is the time for us now. Sheikh Buhari was there, and then when PDP now started something, that time the party said that the position the president should be thrown open, and people can contest whether you are from the north, you are from the south, or you contest. And it was thrown open, and even Wike contested. But the decision at the convention produced the presidential candidate.
Thank you very much, Madam Miriam Ina Ciroma, member of the PDP Board of Trustees and former Minister of Women Affairs. Thank you very much for your insight, and we wish the party the best of luck ahead of the National Convention come November 15th and 16th. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for having me.